What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Long time coming, but I definitely want to get into Stranger Things Season 3 review. I just have to say that I loved this season. Not as good as the first, better than the second, or rivals the second. The only thing about Season 3, it was convoluted in a sense. Like you had a splash of nostalgic brilliance in their ideas, but nevertheless it was convoluted to me. And some open-ended things that I still didn't have answers for. And I can go into that. So it's like when they found Mrs. Driscoll, down there as she got infected with the rat, she was eating all the chemicals and the fertilizer. And then Rebecca and her mom and dad, they go in the house and all the chemicals were eaten. They never explain why, what's it called? Like the mind flagging. Why are the zombies eating all the chemicals? They never got into that. So that was like the big takeaway that I got from this. I'm like, why are they not tying up that story of why is everybody eating chemicals? I wanted to know. But as far as Season 3, like, I loved how everyone got back together. I've not watched a show in a while where I binge watched it. Took me 2 days. Could have finished it in 1 day, but I was like, you know what? I just want to kind of give my brain a rest and digest what I just saw. So it took me 2 days to watch the entire season, 8 episodes. And I haven't binged a show in probably all this year. It's July and I haven't binge watched a show at all. At all. Like, especially on Netflix. I remember Netflix got all that appeal because they had so many binge-worthy shows where I just haven't binge watched a show in so long. And I was happy that Stranger Things did that for me because we're all fans of Stranger Things. It became a pop culture phenomenon and I love that, and they haven't lost it. They haven't lost it. The only gripes I have about it, like I said, I love Stranger Things. I love it to its core. The gripes I have about it is just that they're adding too many characters, which I understand why, because like I said, it's growing, it's become so popular. They have to add people, but they're having too much characters in Stranger Things where the original characters don't have a lot to do anymore. As far as Dustin, I love Dusty. Dusty made Stranger Things in season 1. Like, he makes it. Like, he was making it, like being a part of that cast and that crew, with Mike, Lucas, and Will, and Dusty. Like, that was just them 4, and then it was 11. Like, that's what made me love Stranger Things. Now, last season and even to this season, Dusty's, like, apart from them pretty much the whole season. Now he's with Steve. And Steve is, I love Steve at Scoops Ahoy. I love Scoops Ahoy. I love Starcourt Mall. I love how they made this mall into a 80s mall. The Gap, the Burger King, the movie, the cinema that's in there, showing Dawn of the Dead and Back to the Future. I love that, I'm like, you got to see the old JCPenney. I remember I pointed out, I'm like, damn, that's an old JCPenney's bag. Who has that? Who has an old JCPenney's bag? I was like, you got the old JCPenney, and it's just everything about that. You had Orange Julius. You have everything nostalgic that you want in a mall at that time. They have it. And I was like, kudos to the set designers for making that. The production designers, kudos to them for really making that. That was dope. And I love how Steve, like I said, getting back to Steve, I love how Steve works for Scoops Ahoy, and you introduce his coworker, Robin, who is a quote-unquote nerd, but she was one of those outcasts in high school. They both graduated, so they're just both working. And later on, it finds out that she just had a thing for Steve because she sat behind Steve And Steve never noticed her because Steve was one of the cool kids, never noticed her, didn't care about her, but she just knew his whole routine. And then now that you're out of high school, you're not popular anymore, you just a lame dude. You're lame like everyone else. So I love that dynamic. I love introducing Robin. But as far as Lucas's little sister, I was kind of like, I don't want her added to the cast. I'm like, she could have been a supporting cast, a little small role, and that was it. But you gave her a lot to do, which pushed out so many others that don't have anything to do anymore. You know, Max is just around. She don't have a lot to do. She's just Lucas's girlfriend. And Dusty, you just pushed them out because you're giving a lot more to Lucas's little sister. And even with Hopper didn't have a lot to do. That made me upset because in season 1 and season 2, Hopper did a lot. You know, Hopper, found Will, went to the Upside Down, and was just the main cop and was just a cool cop. Like everybody loved Hopper. Season 3, he looks like he's just always mad. He's mad at everyone. He's just the angry guy. I'm just kind of like, damn, y'all making Hopper look uncool. And he's just turned to that proverbial dickhead, and like everybody just doesn't like to be around. Always angry at the world for any little thing, and I didn't enjoy that. I really didn't. I didn't like how they did Hopper this season. Although that ending, you had to cry, man. You had to tear up, bro. Cause you didn't know Hopper was just. I was like, damn, Hopper's dead. Hopper's gone. Wow, man. I'm like, I expected something like this in season 4 or 5, and not 3, man. Of course, at the end they said, don't bother the American. So they're assuming that might be Hopper, but I'm like, how did Hopper go all the way to Russia? But they'll probably explain. I just tell myself, you can't kill off a person like Hopper when everyone loves Hopper. You just can't kill that person off. So my guess is that, Dave Harbour is really busy with doing movies and other things. So they had to just kill him off right quick so he can go do other things and then just bring him back, which I really hope that that's what they do. And I hope that he's not done with the Stranger Things all in all. And as far as Will, I like Will because they gave him a lot more to do as far as, kind of being that Harry Potter of the clique. How Harry Potter was like, ow, I feel Voldemort. He kind of raises back of his neck like he's here. So I like that part with Will. And it kind of destroyed me when he was like, he really wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons with his friends. And it's like, you guys are young adults now. You can become teenagers. You don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons anymore. While Will is like, you guys are all I have, and they don't really understand that. Mike kind of does, but he was like, they're getting older. But Will's perspective is, you guys are all I have, bro. You guys are what kept me going, through this whole ordeal. And knowing that Will almost lost his life going through the Upside Down, that's all he has. And I just felt for him. I love how they showed so much empathy with Will. And how he, even when he destroyed his tent, he was just like, man, I'm done with childish things, I guess. I'm like, because my friends, they're going to go off in their own separate ways, and I'm just going to be left by myself, and it's going to mess with them. So I like how they're all moving. I don't know why Elle is moving with Will and his brother. I don't know why, but I guess. Everyone had, and I like, Will's brother, I can't remember his name, but him and Nancy, I love that dynamic with them two. They argue, they bicker, they both work together, and they both had to go through that shitty job of the newspaper, and they just had to go through a whole bunch of stuff. I love that part, and just seeing what they were doing as far as getting out of high school and what they were always doing. I also loved how Susie got introduced at the end, with the Never Ending Story song. So I was just like, wow. So that's Dusty's, and you can tell she's hella smart. So I was just like, yeah, you could definitely expect her to be in season 4 with Dusty. And I like that they're all getting girlfriends, except Will. I think Will finally, find somebody later on, but they're all getting girlfriends. They're all getting older. And even just watching it, I was like, damn, look how tall Mike is. Mike is tall and lanky, and Lucas, who's played by Caleb McCall, is just like, damn, you guys are getting older. Like, from season 1 to now, I'm like, you guys are really getting older that fast, And I love Elle. Millie Bobby Brown always brings it. I love when she's on screen because she's actually a real good scene taker. Like, anytime she's on scene, you just don't know what she's going to do, how she's going to react. And I really like that about her. I'm like, she's really a scene stealer. I love that. I love what they did with Billy, because you just knew last season that he was just a jerk. He was an asshole, he was a dick, and he's just kind of like, he was that brutal bully in high school that if he fought you in high school, he's one of those dudes that would damn near try to kill you. Like, leave him alone. Like, he has that much anger issues where he would damn near try to kill you. And then you got to see some of his backstory of why he became that when Elle was into nothing trying to, understand his backstory. And I love that aspect. The only thing I had a gripe about was what happened to all the people in Hawkins. I mean, I think they said it was like, 30-something people died. So Rebecca and all her family and everyone who was down there, they're all just dead, right? So I was trying to confirm, like, is everyone dead after what happened, And I think they are. But I wanted to see, because especially when they all start melting and become part of the mind flagging thing, is just kind of, he was getting bigger and bigger. So I'm guessing that was all the people who dropped dead made him get bigger. I wanted to kind of explore what they were going to do with all the people that went missing or died, So yeah, I really like this season. Other than those few gripes, I loved how they had that Russian base at the bottom of Starcourt Mall, and you had the Russian looking like Terminator. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s with the commando haircut, and you just had that aspect. So it was real cheesy, but it was real nostalgic. 80s feel, which I really love. The Duffer Brothers does a great job of just bringing that cheesy 80s into it. I love the product placement in here. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about the product placement, but I love the product placement in here, especially Burger King. And I just checked. I was scrolling up through my Instagram, and then I just see an ad for the Hopper meal, and I fell out laughing, which is a Whopper, fries, and a strawberry icy. So I was like, wow, they have a Hopper meal, and then you have Baskin Robbins with the scoops of ice cream for Stranger Things for Scoops Ahoy. So I just love the product placement that they had in this. It made me really feel good, just like, damn, I remember as a kid, that's how Burger King looked, and I remember the commercials of the 80s and early 90s of Burger King, and I really loved that. Also, I saw Sam Goody, and I was like, damn, they don't even have Sam Goody no more. It's crazy. They don't even have Sam Goody. Sam Goody was my favorite store to go into when I went to a mall. My mom would go shopping. I would spend my whole entire time in Sam Goody. Whenever she got done shopping, you can find me in Sam Goody, listening to music or looking at movies. That was just what I did as a kid, and Sam Goody always. So I give this a solid 9 out of 10. I give this a solid 9 because, like I said, I love the plots. I love everything about it. It was just those small gripes that they didn't know what to do with characters. That they're adding so many characters in that they don't know what to do with the characters that they already had. So that's what made me kind of like, damn, like they're making Hopper gripe with Winona Ryder's character, and I'm like, I don't like that. I'm like, he's been trying to get at her since season 1, and now he's just always angry at the world. He's angry at her. They're always bickering. I'm kind of like, come on, man, like don't do that. Like just make him cool again. Make Hopper cool again. So that's why I was kind of like. That was the only takeaways I had from it. Other than that, I binge watched it. 8 episodes done in 2 days. I did 5 episodes first day, finished off the last 3 on the second day, and I was done. And I was like, man, I haven't binge watched a show in quite some time. And that's why I love Stranger Things. I truly hope that they don't wait another year to bring out Stranger Things. I hope that, they stay consistent with just dropping another Stranger Things. I hope they're in production right now for Stranger Things season 4 instead of taking a year off and then dropping. So that was like a whole 2 years ago that they did Stranger Things. So I hope that it's just back to being consistent of just doing Stranger Things. I really hope so. I got to get more Stranger Things t-shirts. I just loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So if you guys enjoyed my review of season 3 of Stranger Things, subscribe to my channel. Post a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of my review and what you guys think of Stranger Things season 3. Did you guys love it? Did you hate it? Were you kind of like in between? Did you have the same gripes I had as far as characters? Let me know. Post a comment down below and like the video. It is your boy, D Dyson. Peace.